Hey Maria.
Hey!
Hey everybody. So this should be a fun one. Just a couple of notes, old business. We're gonna go live again at 8:30 to recap the show from Sunday. I know we're really on top of things. So only 5 days later, you're getting a recap. And I'll do like an associates after show. After that, I was planning on doing the slumber party tonight, but I don't know if you guys live around me, then you know that we're getting like the nor'easter of all nor'easters, like in moments, and we're getting like 18 inches of snow and 70-mile-an-hour winds. So anybody who's in New Jersey, New York, or Delaware, Godspeed. Hopefully, our little house that survived Hurricane Sandy will make it through this one. So that's the game plan. And my already shaky internet might go in and out. So let's say hi to everybody. Hey, hibbity bibbity. Hello, UK Kate. Sassy Nerd Girl, Debbie. Oh no, I had my little bar. Get it. There we go. Positive Paula, Ty, MG, Anns, LV, Liz, Sabrina. Hello, hello, hello. Ash. Dreamsicle. Rhonda, Virgie, Debbie W, Wisco, Sherry, Teresa, Barbie, Payne, Chantel, Lisa J, Sarah Z, Amy A. I feel like I'm doing attendance in high school. Deborah, 17, Julie, Denise, Teresa. I think, no, I froze, but I'm getting better at my roll call. So Stephanie Johnson, Brenda Faye, Christina B, Coco, Pink Flamingo. I think I got everybody. Lisa Jones. Bibbity bibbity. Okay, so, I mean, who saw this one coming? So the single life. All right, let's get into it, and we'll just start.
Okay.
Yes, he's fabulous, and he's on the inside scoop.
Ooh, look at that!
Okay, so we started off vehemently recapping the single life, and then we stopped because
Life.
Yeah, things just happen. So we watched the first three, and I haven't watched it since then. So then when I saw that the Ashley posted that Vanessa and Colt broke up, I'm like, oh, I guess let's watch the tell-all, which was pretty good, I have to say. I don't think I'm going to go back and watch the whole season because no, but the tell-all was pretty good. So I think we need to talk about that tomorrow because it's really cringy. Jesse and what's her name, Jennifer, like, ugh. It's. So maybe we could talk about that tomorrow, the tell-all at least. But let's talk about Debbie and Colt and Vanessa. So the tell-all starts off with them interviewing Debbie, and she's like, "Oh, and they're asking her, have you seen Colt? What's it like with Colt and Vanessa?" And she's like, "Well, I barely see Vanessa, but their marriage is great." That's why I feel like he really blindsided her because she kind of lied. Well, she lied. And so their marriage is great. And then not 5 minutes later, Colt comes out with Vanessa and just like goes on the attack. Debbie's like, "Nice to see you, son." And Colt's like, "You're a terrible mother. Here's A, B, C, K, D, E, F, 1, 2, 3 reasons why. Me and Vanessa are split up. You're lying. It was, and that was like all like the first 10 minutes. Very action packed.
Oh.
It was the quickest walk off of a reunion, either 90 Day Fiance or Housewives, that I've ever seen, because Debbie was off that stage like 5 minutes after it started. She's like, "I can't take this. You're embarrassing me." So I'm going to read what the Ashley wrote because they kind of summed it up pretty well. And I want everybody to subscribe and read their stuff because they're always they're the ones that nailed Alina being fired before anybody else. So I'm going to shut my camera off. That way I could read what the Ashley wrote because I don't want my face all up in the screen. So 90 Day Fiance stars Colt Johnson and Vanessa Guerra say that they separated due to Colt's mom, Debbie, interfering in their marriage. Colt and Vanessa have separated, and according to the couple, it's all Colt's mom's fault. All right, let me stop there. I know I got one sentence in. So, how do you think Larissa and Jess and everybody else, are they just like doing like the Christine Brown like this right now? You know, just
Exactly. No, I'm with you. Like, Debbie has gotten in the way of every relationship he's had. And it seemed like Vanessa was able to kind of handle it better than his previous girlfriends have been able to. But it sounds like she can only take so much from Debbie. What did Debbie do? What'd she do?
Well, we'll get to it. But Deb, don't forget that Vanessa was in a marriage when she met Colt. And we've had our ex-husband True on a couple times. And, not that their marriage was the best, obviously, because, she wound up leaving him to be with Colt. But that was like a big step, and I mean, but I've always said, like, doesn't Vanessa see it coming at the same time? She's seen it play out with Larissa, and then she's seen it play out with Jess. I guess she thought she was immune because Debbie actually liked Vanessa. Like, make it make sense to me. Like, I don't. How does Vanessa go into this? Did she think she finally was like the snake charmer? She charmed Debbie, and I'm gonna break the cycle. Because you have to look at Vanessa going into that saying, especially leaving a marriage, and.
Yeah. But it was also kind of like in the beginning, Vanessa was just his roommate. Like, she paid rent there. And so maybe she fostered a friendship with Debbie outside of Colt, right? That was just a real friendship. But then, there was a point where on the single life, they were going to move, right? And Debbie kind of lost her mind, like, you're leaving me, you're abandoning me.
90 days. The 90 days she was going to move in 90 days, and then that was brought up too because then Debbie says, and I know I'm skipping around, but Debbie says on the tell-all, I pay all the bills. He doesn't even work. Neither does Vanessa. I was like, oh,
what?
Yeah. Like, she goes, where's he going to move to? I pay everything. I mean, they went in and Debbie went right back. It was really good. And if you didn't see, it's like the first half hour of the tell-all is all Colt, Debbie, and Vanessa. So Debbie's saying,
kind of hard to believe. Don't you think? Isn't that hard to believe that Debbie?
Well, I mean, they're getting paid from the show. I mean, it's not like they're like, oh, we're just doing, we're doing this show volunteer, we're just docents, right? Like, I mean, not that, we know that they don't get paid that much, but I mean, it's still, they get paid, and, they have the cameos and sponsors and flat tummy apps and piss water tea and, boom bods and, there's way you make money. Some people make like over $100,000 in cameo a year. I don't think Colt and Vanessa do, but I mean, there's money to be had. But Debbie went in, she's like, they don't work. He wants to move, but I pay all the bills. And then the lease was, not expiring, and I couldn't move without getting out of the lease first. So let me go back to the article. Hold on. All right, so during the first tell-all for 90 Day Fiance to Single Life Season 2, Vanessa revealed that she has moved out of the home she shares with Colt and his mom, Debbie, due to feeling smothered by Debbie's constant interference in their lives. I mean, come on. I mean,
where's the lie?
So Vanessa goes, I moved out, who had eloped with Colt back in 2021, said, adding, it's been 3 weeks since she's lived with Debbie and Colt. Colt confirmed that they were separated. And Colt and Vanessa stated that Debbie depends on Colt so much that it's destroying their marriage. It's nonstop, Vanessa said of Debbie's interruptions. Hey, Colt, even if the door is closed in the room. I feel like it's deja vu. Vanessa, who, she had a miscarriage last year, says that the event played a major part in her split with Colt. I was just very stressed about, well, when are we going to raise a baby here in this house? It's just a lot of stress. So I kind of felt guilty, like I did something wrong. And then I took it out on Colt a lot, Vanessa said. Vanessa pointed to Debbie's dependency on Colt as the reason why she left. Colt is our go-to always. Vanessa, who stated she will move back in with Colt if Debbie leaves, said, I just feel very smothered because you're constantly in Colt's face. If I need him, you're in his face.
Yeah.
She goes, I can't stop because it's been very important to me. This is Colt saying, Colt speaking. You raised me to be just a subservient person to you. I just want to know why. I need to know why you're this way. I shouldn't be bothered with your life. This is your life. It's not my responsibility. Let me stop there for a sec. All right. So,
that's a hard one, man. That's a hard one. She's got no husband. She's been relying on Colt in a very codependent way, almost as if she is his Colt is her husband to a certain degree.
yeah.
So now you brought a second wife in who wants attention, who thinks she's the real wife, but you can't get the old one out of the way. It's impossible.
Hey, Michelle. I was thinking and then Debbie said he could have moved out whenever he wanted. And she goes, you could have moved out. You could have left whenever you wanted. And he goes, how could I move out when you always need me for this? You need me that. She goes, I don't need you. But I mean, I remember then I go back to the first season when he just meets Larissa and he's so proud that his mom cooks the steaks and does his laundry, and they shared the one car with the no air conditioning. I mean, they were pretty tight then. I mean, and to have a car with no air conditioning in Vegas that you can't get fixed tells me that you really don't have a lot of money.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be the first thing? My air conditioning went out when I was living in Fort Lauderdale, and I had to get that fixed. One day, I'm oh God, no way in hell that I could ever not have air conditioning in the car. So, thoughts?
I think that Debbie's kind of full of shit. I'm just going to be honest. I think she 100% holds her son back. I think you see out of one side of her mouth her saying, you can leave whenever you want. But out of the other side of her mouth, she's saying, what about me? What am I going to do? You're making me homeless. You're putting me out on the street, right? She says that. So it's got to be hard if you're Colt, because he cares about his mom. He doesn't want to put her on the street, right? But he also wants to have a real marriage with Vanessa, and Debbie's in the way. She's 100%.
But they already knew that was going to happen. Hey, MTT. They already knew that was going to happen. There's no way. Remember when they first got together? Oh, yeah, we're together. We're all living in the house. We're under one roof. And, Debbie's going to move out.
Yep.
And
I think maybe they thought because Vanessa isn't as pushy as Larissa was, that maybe it'd be easier. Maybe she'd be able to adapt to it better. But we can see that when once there was the baby that was in the picture, that they wanted to really have a family of their own, it was impossible because they still have Debbie over here, who's like a child sometimes in her neediness, it sounds like.
And I hate to put it all on Debbie but when in Rome, a really good point. And just slipped my mind.
It is hard to put it all on Debbie. I think Colt is having kind of a realization that his mom really is the problem. I think before that, he was willing to believe that, these other women were being too demanding. They weren't allowing room for his mom, because he clearly is not going to throw his mom all the way out of his life. He's going to take care of her. He feels responsible for her. And he thought he found someone that gets that, but
I remember what I was going to say. Vanessa was the only person that Debbie ever liked remotely. Yeah. So maybe Vanessa was lured in with a sense of I still can't. Vanessa still put herself in that situation at the end of the day. And she knew, there was a pattern. Hey, Drea.
Everybody thinks they're different. Everybody thinks, I'm the missing ingredient. It'll all work perfectly with me in the picture, but it won't, because Debbie doesn't respect boundaries. So.
And then Debbie and Vanessa go toe to toe, and they start cursing at each other bad on the couch. So, Debbie goes to Vanessa. She goes, "You're putting shit in his head. You're effing him up." That's
Vanessa?
your wife. Yeah.
Vanessa's putting shit in his head?
Yeah. And then Vanessa goes, "Yeah, and you guilt trip him morning, noon, and night." And, and they can't be intimate because Debbie's knocking on the door around the clock. And they said that a year ago or months, whenever. I remember saying this before. I remember saying this live before 3 years ago when it happened with Larissa. I remember doing this live 2 years ago when it happened with Jess. And now here we are doing the same live with Vanessa. I'm just going to write a template, right? I'm going to have a whole speech, right? I'm just going to have blanks. So Colt's next girlfriend, blank, who married blank. And on this date, Debbie ruined Colt and blank's third relationship. And then that's it. And that's what I'm going to do. Easy peasy. And then we'll just, that way it's set. I'm all for a good template. And but let me get back to the article.
Okay.
Okay. Debbie then tells Colt that she's moving out of the home the trio shared, which he says is fine as long as you stop. What is that? Oh no. Uh-oh.
That's a loud pop-up.
Blah, 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 blah.
Whoops. Who doesn't love a good pop-up? At least it was sounded like a PG pop-up. You're still muted.
Sorry, I didn't want to get yelled at. And now I lost my article because now it's giving something about Hunter Mountain. Oh God, there it is again. Stop playing this ad.
Oh my goodness. So funny. You got it worked out? Maybe? Can we open the article? Open the article.
It's up, like I'm waiting for like something else to pop up. So wait.
All right.
Okay.
You can just
Let me
hit
try and read
the
it
mute button on the pop-up, maybe.
Debbie declared that she's done with Colt and Vanessa and storms off stage, muttering, I wish he and his wife. Oh my God, for the umpteenth time. All right, I'm just gonna have to.
Can we mute can you just mute the pop-ups, or can you mute? I guess you can't really mute your computer, can you? Then you won't be able to hear me.
I think I muted the pop-ups. So
Okay.
It's always something. It's never easy. So, okay. I'm waiting for like the next pop-up to come up now.
It'll be exciting.
Oh my God, I muted them. Stop.
Is this the Ashley's website? Because we need to let them know that these pop-ups are excessive.
Okay, well, I just closed it. All right, we're just gonna send it to free ball it for the rest of the live because the pop-ups aren't working. So, but I watched the whole thing. She just gave a really good synopsis of it. Oh, you know what? I'll put it on my phone. That's thinking.
Ha! Brilliant.
See? Right? My mama didn't raise me to be a fool. Here we go.
I will say, I do think it's interesting that right now, like we've seen Colt lash out at Larissa and stuff before, but never his mom. So seeing him lash out at her this time is interesting.
Has he never lashed out at Debbie before? I feel like he might have in the past, but I mean, I don't know. He's been usually very pro Debbie. I think when he was dating Jess, he kind of yelled at her because she wasn't giving him and her a chance, like when they were in like Brazil or whatnot.
When they were in Brazil.
It was nothing like this.
No.
So let me read off my phone now. Let me find my spot. Okay, blah, 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 blah. Can't sound very important to me, blah, blah, blah. Debbie then tells Colt that she's moving out of her home the trio shared, which she says is fine as long as you stop influencing me so much. Always there. Debbie seems embarrassed and asks Colt if they have to have this conversation in front of the world, because Debbie walked in saying, "Oh, their marriage is great," when she knew that was a flat out lie. So I really do think that Debbie was hoodwinked with this, because otherwise, and they were all really good actors. Which he replies they do. He goes, "I'm 36 years old. Stop treating me like a kid." Debbie declared that she's done. She's done with Colt. And Vanessa storms off the stage, muttering, "I wish he and his wife would move far, far away." But they can't move to, because he just said that they make no money because they have no jobs, and that's that.
But Vanessa just moved out for at least 3 weeks, right? So she's paying for that somehow. So I feel like Debbie's being dramatic about.
And I don't even know where she's staying. I guess maybe at a friend's house. I don't know, family. But and then Debbie's like, "Well, I have a roommate. I'll move in with them." And I guess it was like the older lady that was in the car. You didn't see it. I don't know who she said she was going to move in with, but I mean, wouldn't you have done it already? So the Ashley writes, "This is not the first relationship of Colton that Debbie has interfered with. His first marriage to Larissa, with whom Debbie clashed with. Then after their divorce, Colt dated Jess, whom Debbie did not get along with. However, Debbie was once very close to Vanessa, who had been her friend and cat sitter. It appears that this is no longer the case." it was sad because they went through the miscarriage, which was sad, and that didn't help things either.
Did it feel like when you were watching it? Did it feel like there's still hope for Colt and Vanessa to you?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah,
I think so too.
Because they said at the end, Sean asked Vanessa, if Debbie does go out and you have your own place, would you want to move back in with Cole? And she goes, yeah. She goes, I didn't sign up for a part-time husband.
No.
So
okay.
Vanessa's not trying to me, it doesn't look like she wants to leave. I think she just got fed up from all of it and, bounced for a while.
Yeah.
But, we're going on how many years now? And I kind of feel bad for Debbie. Like, I don't want her living alone. I don't know. Like, I don't know whose side to take. At the end of the day, Debbie should know better and not interfere with every relationship Colt has. So I could see Colt being mad, but at the same time, Colt enabled Debbie by letting her do this for years. And he's saying, I'm 36. Well, you were 33 when you met Larissa. It wasn't like you're like an 18-year-old, a 17-year-old,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's so difficult because I think even if you set boundaries with Debbie, she's going to say that she'll do them for like 5 minutes and then she's going to be back to her old ways. So how do you...
And that's what pretty much, and you didn't even watch it, but that's what Vanessa pretty much said that Debbie did. Like almost like verbatim.
Oh, look, I can read people.
See? We'll set you with some tarot cards later.
I don't think that they can live together if Debbie can't really change. And I don't know if she can. I don't know if she knows how to not say Colt every 5 seconds.
She's been with him for like his whole life, and Colt's almost 40. That's a long time to be with. Like it's really like her husband, to like a degree.
Maybe if they got a house with a mother-in-law suite, that's totally.
That would not. I thought that too, like the mother-daughter house, but so just go. Not Colt. They definitely don't need to be in the same house. Maybe like two different ends of an apartment complex. Like they already live like in like a development now. Like can't Colt and Vanessa just live at like the total opposite end of it? Or maybe like 5 minutes down the street. That way, you're not completely cut off.
Yeah, if she really needs them, they'll be there. But they don't need her right up in their beeswax all the time.
And I don't know how genuine Colt is either. He might be just doing that to like get Vanessa back. He might be putting this big show on for Vanessa, saying, "You're my mom. I'm sick of this," But Colt lets it happen too.
He does, but you can see like a different level of annoyance with him during the single life. I mean, I only watched a few episodes too, but he did seem genuinely annoyed with her. So
because Sean asked Colt like right before all this went down. What do you think? How do you think of Debbie? Going out and dating. She goes, "Are you happy with her progress?" And he goes, "No." And then I go, "Huh?" And then that's like before the shit hit the fan. He goes, "No." And Sean's like, "Hibbity bibbity, Colt. What do you mean?" And Colt's like, "Well, she went on 3 dates. So I guess that's good after not dating for 30 years or 40 years or whatever. But, she's not trying hard enough."
Yeah, and you're not going to just offload her on some dude who's now going to take care of her so that Colt won't. I mean, that's not really the right way to approach a relationship to begin with. And yeah, she's not used to it. She seemed like she wanted to have a roll in the hay, but yeah, she was weird, man. That was a weird show.
And it's weird. I have to say, Debbie did look really good. She looked really good.
Did she?
Yeah, she looked good. Look at her tatas. We're gonna like hang out. I'm like, I didn't know Debbie was packing like that. Debbie's got some. She might have to call Molly for some help because they were like. I think she needed to wrangle those in a little bit more.
Did she have her tattoo out? Was she showing her tattoo off?
Oh, the tattoo is out. I mean, her whole breast was out. It was like the nipple was just like stuffed into like the bra. Her bra.
Oh, goodness. All right.
See, she's trying to get it still.
Sure. Use what you got.
I saw like nipple at one point, but so that's pretty much what they actually wrote, and I think you should watch the tell, because I mean the rest of it was just wild, just like this the Jesse and Jennifer part, gross. Like they were like making out like grossly the whole time. Just obnoxiously, like, oh, look, we're so, like, no, come on.
Look, we're on camera. Let's
because they were
slap
like,
our faces together.
living their perfect, beautiful lives in perfect Mexico, at a perfect resort, and everything's perfect. So, but we'll save that for tomorrow.
And the tell-all is on Discovery Plus, right?
Discovery Plus.
Okay.
So, and then Tim comes on. I know we should say that for tomorrow, but I want to talk about it now. But you didn't see it yet, so we'll wait. Yeah. So pretty much it ends with, Colt and Vanessa walking off like halfway through the tell-all. That Sean kept them around so they can give commentary on other couples, and that was it. That's pretty much it.
You should send them some messages. See what they say. Now that the show's filmed, you don't want to see. Are you guys together still? Are you guys working it out?
No, I'm good. I think they're gonna work it out. I think that both Colt and Vanessa know they'll look like fools if they don't. Not on just on top of like loving each other or whatever, but
the important
it's
part,
on Discovery Plus. Yeah, I thought it was Remember that TLC Go app? No, and then I'm like, wait, is that still a thing? The TLC Go app?
I think it still exists. I haven't gotten on there.
So that's different from like the Discovery Plus app.
It's a different app. I don't know what's on it. I have it on my phone.
Well, I watch it on Discovery Plus, but I remember downloading TLC Go, and then it's like, you didn't pay for this. I'm like, I pay for this every month. I've watched it 3 times, and I pay for this every month. Discovery Plus, either way. But I don't know. Or maybe this is Colt's way back on getting back on the show.
Would he be on The Single Life? I hope he's not on The Single
Why not?
I want him to work it out with Vanessa. I think that they actually care about each other.
I do too. But I think that Colt puts up like a front to show Vanessa, look, I'm talking up. I'm going against her. I care about this marriage.
You think it's a performance?
Partly. I think it's half true. I believe there's some truth to it, but at the same time, I think he's afraid of Debbie, and maybe afraid and like a worried mixture. Because God, who knows what's in Colt's head? What if he, sends Debbie off and then like she dies 3 weeks later? Like that stuff that floats in your head, and you know what I mean? Like all, and then like, oh my God, I kicked my mother out of the house and she died, and like, and then I don't like just stuff like, just something weird.
Yeah, I bet he does have that kind of fear. He doesn't want to abandon her. He doesn't want to leave her alone. It's hard.
So, I mean, I think we're good. I'm looking forward to part 2, and I think it's $5 a month for the Discovery app, Discovery, whatever the hell it is, Discovery something.
Discovery.
I got it, and I've used it 3 times. And when was the first time we talked about this show? Like months ago? Like
it was months ago. Yeah,
definitely last year, like September or October or something like that. But it's $5 a month. So hey, Addie, I think we're good. I guess let's keep it short and sweet. There's not much else, unless you got anything else.
I don't. I'm gonna go play with some clay in the pottery studio. So.
I mean, 90%, like I posted on IG, I would say like 95% of the people are like, shocker,
What do you mean?
They're like, like I said, like, this looks familiar. When the comments, like, oh, we knew this was coming.
Okay. That kind of shocker. Okay.
That's why I was like,
I just think that they can make it work.
I think they can make it work. They don't. Vanessa doesn't seem like she's done with him. She just seems like she's done with Debbie. Yeah. And Sean asked if Debbie's out of the picture, will you move back in? And she said, yes, I don't want a part-time husband. And she didn't say, no, I was done with this marriage. Yeah. To me, it looks like she just wants the Debbie thing fixed now. And I guess
she wants her husband. She wants her husband. So that's good. She's not done with him. She wants him.
Yeah. And it had to take, her moving out to maybe Colt to see things differently. I don't know.
Yeah.
So and I had something else I was going to say and I forgot. I hate that. I need to like have a pen in my hand. It's not like my brain's still foggy. But yeah, I think we're good. So
you're doing pretty good considering you have a COVID brain. I think you're doing pretty great.
Yeah, I'm still foggy. I'm like, and I always have like a pen in my hand now. I'll get up and like take 3 steps, and I'm like, where was it going? Like,
Check the pen.
bad. So, yeah, let's reconvene at 8:30 for
Perfect.
because I still have to watch another hour of it. So it'll be fresh in my head. And we'll be back. I didn't even set the live up yet. I'll set it up now. We'll be back at 8:30
Perfect.
Eastern, if weather permitting, if the blizzard hasn't come and taken us away. And I'll see you guys then. So I'll see you guys in a little bit. Come join us again at 8:30.
Bye.